Hi everybody, this is Alchemist 2 and I'm back again with another movie review. Recently I went to see The Butler and I know that this movie has been getting quite a bit of divided reviews and I think it's causing quite a controversy. Some cinemas are not even showing it and some believe that the film makes the white people look like they're the main source of the problem. Personally, I don't really see it. I thought that the way that in which this film was done, it was not sugar-coated in any way, shape, or form. It was presented directly, honestly, even to the point of being blunt. And I don't know if there are some people that just don't like the fact that it's just so um, brazenly and blatantly honest and accurate in the way that it tells its history. It takes um, in the history that is told based on a true story that it's presenting or inspired by. It takes over a span of 50 years, and you've got this young man who grows up in the South in the cotton fields, and um, his father is basically shot in cold blood by his owner, and he realizes that at that point in time, unless he leaves um, that situation, he's probably going to die as well. So he takes up and leaves, and he takes what little he has, and no one really shows him any sympathy until he gets a job as a footman or the help at a hotel, and he doesn't understand at the time because he's still a child, but he learns that there are two faces that the butler, particularly the black butler, will put on to appease the white folk. And I didn't really see anything wrong with this. I thought this is the way it was, and I just thought this film was exceptional, and there were many times I was just crying my eyes out because it's just so um, difficult in spots to watch, to actually wonder why people could be so cruel. And a lot of Americans, Cecil says in the film, a lot of Americans will turn a blind eye to this part of their history. I myself do not. I am not one of those people. Yeah, I might admit that I might have a tinge of prejudice, maybe. I don't know. I think we all do, but not to the point of thinking that I am superior, because I know I'm not. I am a human being. We all bleed the same color. We are all supposed to work together, and hopefully being in the 21st century and going through all of the ordeals that we have and seeing all this come to pass. And I think this movie is a didactic movie in that sense, and just portraying it as it was, and just showing the differing situations of the life in the White House versus that of the civil rights movement and Martin Luther King Jr., the Freedom Riders, and how it started off as just this movement of nonviolence, which I respect. I'm a huge Martin Luther King fan. I mean, he is one of my idols. So is Nelson Mandela. And then you got Malcolm X, and then you have the KKK, and you think, holy crap, and they wonder, what, why? And you just don't understand why certain people have this viewpoint, and it doesn't prove anything. It's just violence begetting violence, and all because of hatred. That's all it is. It's hatred and misunderstanding and superiority complexes gone too far. And uh, the main aspect here, the main concept, is fundamentalism. Yeah, I said it. And I think that's what some people have issues with particularly those who think that Christians act this way. No. A true follower of Christ will not act in this way. They will not think, well, since I follow such and such a belief, and since my belief is right, your belief is wrong, and you're all going to hell, or I'm going to persecute you just because you're this way and I'm that way. No, that's stupid. That kind of thing, that was done in the Dark Ages, and it's, that it's here and gone, and it's been recorded in our history books. And yes, it is a blight on our history, as was when we came from Plymouth Rock and subjugated the land from the native. Yeah, a lot of us don't like to talk about that either, but we do tend to turn a blind eye toward it, and a lot of people say, well, yes, this is still a problem in our day and age, and I mean, to play a little bit of devil's advocate, you've got to have a little bit of prejudice to survive, but this movie is about how we can get along better together, and also a father and son and their strained relationship, and how he feels, well, how Cecil feels that Lewis, at first he thinks, oh, my son is a good for nothing, he's just getting himself into trouble, which he really wasn't doing. What he was doing is he was the forefront of the civil rights movement, and it would not have happened had he not stood up for himself and gotten that whole group going. And then it goes too far when he and Carol, they're still dating, and she's wanting to go down that dark path of violence and hatred with the Black Panthers and Malcolm X, and he realizes this is not the way, and he makes the intelligent decision to leave, which I thought was really fascinating. It's just a really interesting film, and I know it's going to be a contender for Oscar, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was exceptional and phenomenal. And Forest Whitaker, he's one of my favorite actors of all time. I loved him. And you've got all these different other A-listers, like Robin Williams playing Eisenhower. He did just a wonderful job. And you got Alan Rickman as Reagan. At first I thought, I never really would have thought that he could portray, but he looked just like him, he sounded just like him, and it was beautifully done. The man who played Kennedy was wonderful. I think maybe Jane Fonda possibly might have redeemed herself out of that whole fiasco done during the Vietnam era. At least I'd like to think that she did. She should have apologized a lot earlier, but that's probably the reason why this movie's getting so much flack, as it has, because of her. But I think that she has redeemed herself, but forgive and forget. It's old news. It's focused on the now, people. I thought that Spacek did a good job. He was excellent as Nixon. The guy who played LBJ, perfect. I just thought that everybody did a sensational job. Cuba Gooding, as usual, he's awesome. Lenny Kravitz, I was very surprised when he was in that, but it's just amazing. He also did a splendiferous job. And Oprah, I think that Oprah, she had one of the best roles in the entire film, and she can definitely act. And I was kind of surprised that she was in it, but I think she was doing this for a purpose, just to show us how far we've come. And I just think that this is a beautiful but somewhat difficult film to watch, especially during the whole civil rights movement part, which I was actually cringing at it, even though I'm a history buff and I know what happens. This is to remind us this is where we were, and now look how far we've come, and we still have a ways to go. But I think at some point in time in the future, our whole understanding of race. I think that's going to change because when I was taking my class in sociology, it predicted that Caucasians are going to become more of a minority. So I don't really see that as a problem, honestly. I really don't find that disturbing or distressing one way or the other. I'm not going to be here to see it happen. My children are, so I'm sure that they'll be fine with it. They'll be like me. I think they'll be open-minded and open to that sort of thing. That this is the kind of movie that makes you think, and it's really, I don't know if I can say enjoyable, but it is a very just absolutely incredibly done film, a very poignant um, kind of movie that will stick. It's kind of like Schindler's List. It's that kind of movie that will resonate with you for a long, 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 long time. And it's just an Oscar contender. I'm pretty sure it'll be an Oscar contender with everything that was portrayed in it and how well the actors did. And I wouldn't be surprised if it gets a lot of Best Pictures, as it's really unbelievably done. It's just absolutely outstanding, and I highly recommend it. I don't care about all the controversy. I just think that it's really magnificent movie, and that's all that needs to be said. I give the Butler 2 thumbs and 5 stars. No questions asked.